Welcome everyone to the New Fly Fisher. I'm your host Bill Spicer. On this week's show, the subject is Atlantic salmon. Hard fighting and acrobatic is why many fishermen travel on an annual basis from around the world to fish for this much sought after species. We'll talk about the flies, the equipment, and line control techniques. Also, we'll talk to the beginner in the audience with some casting tips and knots. It promises to be a great show, so stay with us. On this week's show, the New Fly Fisher crew is in Newfoundland. Our home base will be just outside the town of Corner Brook. Our host for this week is Ray Humber, owner of Newfound Outfitting. Newfound Outfitting is situated between the Lewis Hills and the Blow Me Down Mountains on the Serpentine River, which runs down a 20-kilometer stretch of wilderness to the Gulf of St. Lawrence. From June until October, the principal runs of salmon enter the rivers to seek out shallow, rapid areas where spawning gravel is available. Their capacity to return back to the same stream they were hatched has captivated and mystified biologists for hundreds of years. Salmon are among the most beautiful of fish, streamlined, silver, and graceful. They are powerful too, among the greatest fighters in the fishing world, and perhaps most important of all, Atlantic salmon are a symbol of clean, unspoiled waters that run wild to the sea.
And you got it. Next cast. Oh, this is another big fish. This is another big fish. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Running right at me. This one I had no problem getting on the reel because he took off away from me. This guy's going to jump. Oh yes. Another jump. Look at that! Look at that! He's heading out. He's going to go into my backing here in a second. He went way out there. Now he's running right at me like they typically do, so you got to be prepared to be able to take your line in quickly. Now he's going to come up again, I can tell. Oh, yep. Well, it's a big fish. Got him?
Got him.
It's another good fish. 6-7 pounds, maybe.
Yes, I think.
How about 6?
About 6.
There we go. Just another quick look.
Want a look?
And away she goes. Now that's a darker fish, so it's been in the river a little longer than other ones. There he goes. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Got to check my knot now. These fish are so big and so powerful, you must check your knot and your leader every time. And right there, I got a little nick right there. It's probably from touching that rock. So again, I got to retie. The equipment when coming to Newfoundland is simple. Number 7 and number 8 weight rods. The lines, you're only allowed one line, and that's a floating line. You cannot use any kind of sinking line, sink tip, or anything like that. Leaders, the same length as the rod. In this case, I got a 10-foot number 7, so I got a 10-foot leader with it. Now the reels, there's the working part that you want. Large arbor. Atlantic salmon are very powerful, and they go for long runs, but then they turn around and come right back at you. So you need the ability to take up line fast. Smooth drags, now that's utmost importance because they go for their long runs. If your drag isn't smooth, you're going to break tippets. So if you're going to put any money at all, put it into your reel. But that, in a nutshell, is all you need. Number 7 and number 8 weight rods, floating lines, regular size leaders. Got him. He's going to jump. Oh yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Wow. Wowee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
That's fresher fish.
That's a fresher fish, yeah. Now, the secret to all the success that I've been having is presentation. It's far more important to present the fly than the fly itself. Yes, there is a difference with the fly, but if you don't present the fly properly, the fish won't bite it. In the case here, we have a V split, and I position myself where I think the fish are so I can cast up and have the fly float drag free towards me, and I'm drawing in the line as it gets closer to me. So presentation is everything when it comes to Atlantic salmon fishing. When dry fly fishing, it's of utmost importance to be quiet. That means how you make your fly land and how you lift it up off the water. Land is easy. You just want a nice soft landing. Let it land like so. Now lifting it off the water, you don't want this. That created sound makes this big smacking noise and will spook the fish. Now there's a couple of ways we can lift the line up off the water to stop that. What we want to do is break the film on top of the water, and we can do that by wiggling first and lifting up. I'll show you again. Wiggle, lift it up, or we can do what's called a snake roll, which is that. And what that does, it breaks the surface tension of the water and allows you a silent lift. Again, you don't want it so that it's a big rip off the water. The fish hear that. They hear that. That's no good.
Best time in this river salmon fishing, I'd say the fish start entering the river early June. They take a while before they get up to the falls. We take guests around the latter part of June. So I say you can't really go wrong with mid-July into mid-August. But we take sports right up until the end of August, because if the weather conditions prevail, we'll have great fishing right up till Labor Day weekend.
Let's talk today a little bit about basic fly casting. First off, efficient fly casting is based on the 180-degree rule. Now what that means is simply straight back and straight through. If you take away from that straight back, straight through, your efficiency drops off and you can't cast very far. So I'll show you some grips today that will help you. First off, what I teach first for most of my students is the thumb on top. Thumb is the strongest part of your body. Your hands are underneath, your fingers are underneath the rod, and when you cast, it's straight back, and my fingers here go towards the target. I go directly over my thumb and towards the target. The biggest mistake I see that people make is this. Bringing it around like that and then through. And that takes away your 180 by doing this and through. It's got to go directly over your thumb and back. Now the second grip is called a key grip. It's like if you were to grab a key and put it in your door. That's your grip there. So it's on top of the rod, and I'll show you like this, with my forefinger on this side and my thumb on that side. But now, if you notice, my palm is in the front. So when I cast, directly over my hand, and I push my palm ahead, back and ahead. I recommend this grip for people with bigger hands or very strong people. somebody who's got a very strong grip, this will help you a lot. You won't throw tailing loops as you would with a thumb on top if you're a strong person. Now the third grip I'm going to show you is for accuracy. I see a lot of small stream casters use this, and it's the forefinger in front. It's simply that. Again, you're placing your hand on top, your thumb at the side, and your finger to the side here. And how this cast is, again, my palm is in the front, but all I have to do is point my finger where I want to go. Straight back over for my 180 and straight. And this is extremely accurate. You can get underneath bushes, get around stumps, whatever you want by just pointing your finger at your target. Back, point your finger to where you want the fly to go. So there's your 3 grips that you need when fly casting. Try one, find out which one's right for you, and take it from there. Got him. Whoa, my God. My goodness. And another one that's going to go out to sea. Which is good. When they make their way out to the open water like that, they go away from the pool and not disturb it. So the other fish will be ready to hit. This guy's doing the same thing, running right back at me. And he's going to come up here in a second. There he goes. Yes, sir. Whoa! My goodness. Have you ever seen such fish that leap as much? A tarpon, I guess, but freshwater fish, well, I guess this is saltwater too, but the leaping is what is incredible. Nice grills. Nice grills. Very active, acrobatic, and away it goes. Now, I have a situation in front of me here where I have 2 different currents. I have the fast current out in front of me, but directly in front of me, it's almost dead. And if I do a normal cast to the fish, the fly only has a drag-free drift for a very short time. Then it starts to drag because my line is pulling right there. So the solution to that, it's called a reach cast. And all a reach cast is mending your line downstream before it falls. So all I do is stop the rod and then move my line downstream. And I'll get a much longer drag-free drift by doing that. I move the line downstream, the fast water takes the fly down without any drag. If I leave my line upstream, like so, the line is being dragged right away and the fly is moving over. And it's not what you want. You want a drag-free drift.
When we started our lodge, this area was, it is a protected area. We were fortunate enough to have permission, to get permission to build our lodge in '96. It was very small in the beginning, but as time went on, we were permitted to enlarge, and in 1999, we started taking our first fishing sports. It was a wonderful thing. I took 4 down. I took a few fellows down as just on a fam tour with them, and they had a really good time. We caught fish, and they just loved the area. They've been coming with me ever since, and they've been bringing groups. So right now, I'm just proud to boast a 95 to 98% return rate year after year. It's 2010 now, so we've been on the go now since '99 with flesh fishing, and it's been really good. Very happy with it.
When selecting wet flies for high water over low water, your selection should be a heavier dressed for high water. In this case, there's more hackle on this, it's a brighter color, and gives a bigger profile in the higher water. Now when you get low and clear water, you want something less dressed. For instance, this fly here. A less of a wing, there's only a little hint of orange and a little bit of yellow. That would be a good choice. A completely black fly would be a good choice for low and clear water. So there's your difference when selecting for high water over low water. The biggest challenge to Atlantic salmon fishing is regulations dictate you may not weight your line at all. That means you must use floating lines, no weight on your leader, or inside the fly. So this creates a big problem for us when the salmon are on the bottom and not rising. What do? Well, normal hook would be a light gauge hook like that you might use in low water conditions, but that's not going to go down very far. So what we must do is use a heavier gauged, larger hook. This is the only way you're going to get it to sink. And with mending techniques that we use when we cast, we can get this to sink. And we'll show you that later on in the show how to do that. But your choice would be heavier gauged hooks to get them down.
A good supply of flies to bring with you when you're coming to Newfoundland would be bombers in various colors, buck bugs, green machines, green highlanders, blue charms, and silver tips.
Now, what we have to do, because the regulations dictate we can't use any weight to get our fly down, in order for me to get the fly down, I got to use mending techniques. And one mending technique that we use is called a stack mend. It's done like this. I cast my line across the water. When it lands, I mend upstream, and I mend again, and again, and I'm letting line out as I go. The hook will sink to the bottom, and then I swing it to where I feel the fish are. And that's another big one. Okay, give it a second. This is really important. I just had a fish rise. I've got to wait. Only a minute, that's all you got. Give them a second to think about it and then put it back over. So in the time it took for me just to talk to you, now I'll cast again. Gonna miss him there. Oh, no I'm not. Oh yeah. So again, like I said, just in the time it took me to talk to you, I waited, and the very next cast, that fish come up. And this is something that I've learned from the guides in Newfoundland. And when I say at each show, listen to your guide. Listen to your guide. They know what they're talking about. Unbelievable. Boy, this one's going a little crazy, isn't it?
They're pretty feisty yet.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's doing the typical salmon thing, and it likes to roll. Okay, we got it there. And just show it to the camera. Again, another find. This is a Grulse. And it's been in the river for a little bit, so we'll let her go right away.
This one's a hen.
Another hen. Oh, and away she goes.
Catch and release is very important. We are enjoying healthy populations of salmon in our rivers. And I'd like to think that they're getting stronger, but the minute you think about the stocks getting stronger, it seems like, bang, we have a bad year. But I think the time has come that people should be practicing to catch and release. Use our catch and release tactics, do it properly, and to make sure that salmon stocks survive and last for generations to enjoy.
Got him. Oh my God, look at that take. Whoa, and this is a good fish. Woo! He's going south on me. Woo! That was unbelievable. And you know, I really had to fight hard to get over to this spot. It's 10 minutes from the lodge. A nice easy walk, a little boat ride across the river and a nice easy walk. And we're into this kind of fishing. My goodness. And one thing I found about Atlantic salmon, they don't like to go into the current. They like it better into this slower water. So that's a convenience for yourself as far as fighting the fish. Tremendous. And like I've said all program, I'm going to allow the guide to handle the fish. This is a catch and release only area, and I want to make sure that the fish is okay before we let it go. I don't want to handle it too much. He's got a glove. We'll show the camera and then we'll let it go. Oh. There we go. And a nice fine grilse. Exciting, isn't it? 10 minutes from the lodge.
I hope you enjoyed today's show and learned something about the Atlantic salmon. For more information on this show and others in our informative series, visit us on the web at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us. Tight lines, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Tom Rosenbauer. For videos like the one you just saw and more, subscribe to our channel. You don't want to miss our weekly uploads of educational videos, exciting trips, and much more.